I can't. Matt Forge, hold on. Don't hit the button yet.
Yeah,
don't hit the button.
I want to start the show, bro.
Don't hit the button. Gary's laughing in the background. Hold on. You ready? What would you rather eat?
Okay, I like where this is going.
A baby goat or a matter baby?
Matter baby? What's a matter baby?
Nothing, sugar. What's the matter with you?
It's so bad, it's good. What is up, Defects? We're back.
I know Gary liked that one.
I just read Jay's comment, and it stopped me for a minute. All right, that's Monday Night Live. We are back. Good. Is this the first show of the new year? No, we did one last week, right?
Second.
Yeah. So I can't even say that, but we got a good show tonight. A couple predictions. Probably most of them are going to go wrong. I think we're probably just going to get right into it. We don't have much other to talk about. There's not a ton of MCU or DCU news. There's not a lot of comic book community news. But I think we're going to work it into kind of our predictions. Before we get too far down the road, let me say what up to my boys. I'm going to start with Guy Forge down there. What's up, brother?
What's happening, guys? It's Monday night. Georgia's lighting up the field over here, but did we expect anything less, honestly? Congrats to TCU for making it there. I don't know if anybody else is watching, but some football on tonight. So we're here. Football's on. Hang out with us. Have a good time. Jay, I love you. Go fuck yourself.
Gary, what up, buddy?
Yeah, thanks for having me back again. Again, I'm just here to keep Jay's seat warm. I see he's in the chat. There will be a time where I'm not here, and he will be here.
You're gonna have to really work it in if you're gonna keep keeping it warm. You know.
Nah, he'll be back, and I'll be out. But Greg had a good comment. Can I read this really quick for Jay?
Of course.
Jay is like a Jedi who's passed on, but the Force keeps him in the chat. I think that's good.
It's just his hologram.
It's just a hologram.
Yeah.
He's just talking from the chat. But no, I'm good. I'm excited. What's really cool about tonight's list is I don't know 70% of it. So right. I'm excited.
Somebody's asking about meatballs. Right before we went live, these guys are talking about making sausages and meatballs. So it's spreading. Guy Forge is basically spreading his knowledge to people now. Instead of Googling, they just call Guy to figure out how to do something when it comes to meatballs.
Sometimes. It happens sometimes. Listen, I'll throw it out there, Gary. I'm gonna throw your business out there right now. We're fucking live, so this is Gary texted me over the weekend and asked me about sausage. I mean, that's a conversation that you got to have sometimes.
It is. I'll talk meatballs all day, but when it comes to sausage, I'm not as privy as Guy is to sausage.
Wow. I'm going to break up this.
This is a silly question.
This sausage fest right now and just answer. I'm going to let Gary answer this one.
It's got to be Terrificon. Terrificon is the total package of a convention. I'll be honest with you. Matt, we were just talking about this today. The Tier A convention, in my opinion, is New York and San Diego. All right. The Tier B, you got C2E2. I think you have Emerald City, you have MegaCon, and I think Terrificon is like
just
right there. It's right in between. Because
doesn't Terrificon bring some other element though than a couple of these? It does.
Terrificon, for me, who's there working for 3-4 days, Terrificon is my favorite convention of the year. Outside of King Con is a personal, fun event because it's a smaller show. It's more community based. Everyone's there for comic books. It's just great. When it comes to Terrificon, it's another tier up, and you just get quality food, quality venue, quality hotel. You legitimately park your car and you don't go back to it for 3 or 4 days. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Sometimes you forget where you parked your car.
Usually you forget where you parked.
By the end of the weekend, that's the goal, I would say, right?
Yeah.
Would you say that that's the goal?
Mission accomplished. Yeah. It's
One of these-
Terrificon is the best July convention.
Hold on. No. The goal is to find it. Honestly,
That is true.
the goal is to find it. You know.
I mean, how much fun do you guys have? I know Jay has a load
it's
of fun.
I mean, Jaggernaut. I mean, we're all going. That's like the show. Like that's.
Oh yeah.
You have to be there. So like, if you're asking, is there a show worth traveling for? That's it, because not only do you get the con, like Gary, you're staying in a great hotel. If you like to gamble, eat, and shop, like
the restaurants are fantastic. Yeah. You're eating real food. You're not eating like hot dog. You know, like New York Comic Con, there's real restaurants everywhere. But 9 times out of 10, people are grabbing what they're selling at the convention and they're going out for some street meat, which is fine. I'm not going to complain about that. But Terrificon.
You could just say that it's better than New York. I mean, if you're saying from a standpoint of like the entire package, I think it's better than New York because there's so much more to do than just the comics, right?
Yes.
And it's not as packed. But if you're strictly saying from a comic book standpoint, I don't think it can't be, right? I mean, it's just there's a big gap.
I think just because the element that you get, that you're there and you're not going anywhere else really. Not many people travel outside the casino for the weekend.
Right.
So you're walking everywhere in there. You walk between the restaurants. You walk between the clubs. You walk between the bars.
Yep.
You're walking back to your room. So there's no like fear of like you have to drive somewhere. I mean, you're pretty much relaxed and ready to do anything.
And what's nice also about Terrificon, kind of like, Guy, to add to your point, is if you want a break in the middle of the day, you just go up to your room.
Go
take a nap. Go grab lunch.
What do you mean? You go play some roulette, maybe
go play some craps, and you come back.
Guy Forge and a slot machine.
Those
Terrificon,
goddamn Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
Terrificon is a great example of a convention where you can actually pace yourself for 3 days because your hotel
you can find Otto at the bar.
Yeah, I was about to say Otto's
for
at
sure.
the bar.
The one place Otto isn't is his booth.
This is true.
Lock
if
that
you want
in.
to find Otto, start with not going to the booth.
Don't check the booth.
And you're probably
start with the back right. Back right. Yeah, I can remember how to get there. And Otto's at the bar with his favorite bartender and the machines at the table. Right on the bar. The machines are right at the bar for Otto.
What do you think, Gary? I got a comment up. Do you think as a vendor, I know you've had better years at Terrificon than you did at New York, but I mean, overall, as a vendor.
I mean, I do better at New York, but
take
there's
into
200,000
account
people.
I was going to say, taking into account the loading in and the process and the cost to get down there, which one would you rather vend at?
I would rather vend at Terrificon. You get more bang for your buck, and it's more fun. New York, you make more money at New York, but it's a high level of stress for 4 to 5 days. Parking, your hotel's more expensive. You're walking to and from the convention. It's just you make more money, but it's a lot of stress. It's a lot of stress. There is no stress for Terrificon. There's nothing. It's
one of these years we're gonna get Gary to Terrificon where he doesn't have to work the full time or he's not working at all. One of these years he has to do it.
There's not going to be no working at all. There's not.
Well,
I don't know if there's no working at all.
We're gonna have to figure it out one year, all right?
Yeah.
We're just gonna have to.
I need. You know what? If I can find another person to run my booth for me,
you got to pay. I mean, listen, Juan.
I know that's fine.
He's a seasoned vet at this point.
That's fine.
You know.
Yeah.
Gary, all you need is 1, 2, 3 people. 1, 2. Nah, forget it.
Anyway.
Chinmo said he's going to be at the 3 MIB more than. I mean, that's not hard.
That's the last 2 years.
Like
that's been him at everything.
That's a lock. Yeah.
Murph, I can't get Murph behind. Murph can't sell my stuff.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, no. I mean, Murph could though.
He could, but
yeah. Gary's like, but it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. Where was he? Was he there last year? One day.
He was not there last year.
Well, I thought he was there
fucking better be there this year. I'll tell you that.
One day? Didn't he have a
He's
wedding
be
or
at
something?
King Con. He's coming to King Con. I know that.
Yeah, he's coming to King Con. Haven't seen Murph in a while.
He was at some con that we don't mention much. But Murph, no one rolls it. Let's put it this way: no one rolls into a con like Murph.
No,
okay.
Cooler and
my dude walked in carrying a bottle of Pedialyte and a cooler, like dragging the cooler behind him on wheels.
Yep.
You know what's funny? At
and about
my
75
booth,
books to get signed.
I don't think anybody realized this. At my booth, my dad had like a hydro flask, right?
Yeah.
He kept filling it with beer.
Your dad's the
he's
man.
I didn't
That's
even
the
know.
man.
Under the table, we had the cooler, and he's putting beer. I'm like, what are you doing?
Like
over
he's
here?
got to get permission from you.
No, I don't care.
Come on.
I just thought it was funny. So he'll be there this year too.
Love him.
Before we get too far into this show, Guy Forge, let's talk about some sponsors of the show.
Why not? First off, we got Express Comic Book Pressing Service, guys. 10% off with that code Defects10. This is Erod. Erod212. You know him. Check him out on Instagram. Obviously, you can get his email right there, expresscbp@yahoo.com. He does all the cleaning, the pressing. He will blaze your books. There's no one better. As far as we know, we call him, or as Jay calls him, the presser's presser. And by the way, Gary, where does he submit to?
He does submit to CGC, and he'll pass his discount on to you.
See, look at
And
that.
CBCS as well.
Gary gets involved too.
CBCS,
Yeah,
does he?
CBCS. Yeah,
He
absolutely.
was. I'm pretty sure. Still.
He probably is.
Well, next up, guys, we got Mutant Beaver. www.mutantbeavercomics.com. You know the website. I don't have to repeat how Gary's internet went down when he searched Mutant Beaver.com. 10% off with that Defects 10 discount code. And they ship where, Matty Forge?
Worldwide.
Worldwide. MutantBeaver.com. Tell Pat and the B-Man that the butcher, wherever he is, sent him.
He's in the chat. We know that.
Yeah,
He is.
He's going to become like Waldo.
Where's Butcher?
Where's Butcher?
It's going to be a big deal when he comes back. Don't even announce it. Just have him.
Should be.
He's got a lot.
You
He's got.
never know when he's going to pop up.
You
He's
don't
like
know.
a bad zit.
Always shows up at the most inopportune moments.
Wow.
Just angry and red. You know what I mean? Like,
Why is he red?
well, he's if he's drinking, he gets a little red. He's Irish. He's half Irish.
got
so
it, got it.
You know when they drink, you get a little red. I mean, you see Murph roll in to a con, he's red before he gets there. You know?
Yeah,
what
he
I mean?
is.
that man
That's
comes in
that
red.
New England. That's that Boston, though. That Boston red.
Yep,
That clam
yep.
chowder.
Yeah.
Oh God! All right, so here's what we're gonna do. This is very general. You saw the. I'm trying to think. Do we have any? We have some other stuff. We'll talk about it later. The general premise is predictions, and it could be about anything. I told the boys they had some homework. I tried to give Jay some homework. I said, give me one. I don't know if he thought about it or if he forgot. I mean, Jay is sometimes it's if you catch him at the wrong time, it's like in one ear out the other. So maybe he'll put it in the chat towards the end. You never know, and then we can read it live. So Jay, you have like 20 minutes to think of one. But I told the boys here, give me 3 predictions for the year. All right, it could have to do with collecting, MCU, DCU, new comics, old comics, the market, speculation, CGC, the whole gamut. Anything that we cover right throughout the year. Let's talk about what those predictions could be. And the great, I mean, I kind of know what these guys are. I just kind of knew where they what, so we didn't duplicate. But they don't know each other's. They don't know mine. So it's kind of blind reaction, which is rare. Usually we're kind of a little bit more prepared, I guess, for each other. So now
This is good, though. This is better.
Yeah, it's fun. It's gonna.
Yeah.
So some of these topics, my prediction is Gary will be sitting there a long time. The way these jokes are going. Listen, Jay. You know what? This is what happens. You walk away. You got to watch this. Like this is your punishment.
You get movie quotes every once in a while, Jay. You get all this shit you don't like.
You get Matter Baby. You know what I mean?
Congratulations.
He doesn't like the movie quotes. Come on.
He's
he
hated
hates
them
them.
from day one. So that's
Really?
why we do. That's
Yeah.
why we do them. I mean, that is
my
why we do them.
goodness.
So these should be fun. I like I said, I kind of know some of these guys. So there's some good stuff. And then I feel like some of the predictions are going to lead into like longer conversations.
This
some
is
of them
gonna
will
be
probably
a-
be
this-
quick.
This is going to be a
this
long
will
one.
fun.
Yeah.
So let's get the chat going. Let's make sure that we get people responding in the chat and tell us what you think of some of these. And no particular order here, not like least to worst, best to whatever. Jay won't return. Eva takes his place. I won't drink a beer tomorrow. I feel like 2 or 3.
2 out of the
wrong.
3. 2 out of the 3. 2 out of the 3 are wrong.
Yeah.
just putting it out there, Murph. I love you, but
Yeah. Back as you calling wants more movie quotes. All right.
yeah, I saw
so
that.
there you
I
go.
saw that. Yep.
And Chinmo's agreeing. So that's two to one at this point. You know,
is Chinmo in for King Khan? Yes,
he's in for both.
And I know he's coming to Terrificon.
Yeah.
All right.
So
okay.
All right. Anybody want to start? Anybody particular want to start?
Well, we all know number 10. Did you want to do that one?
Nah, we'll say that for the end.
We'll
Maybe, like I said, maybe Jay comes up with something. So
all right. I'll start if you don't mind, only because I kind of gave this one away last week. I kind of gave this one away last week, and I want to hear.
I wish I had like a dramatic number 1.
Yeah.
But, you know, just imagine it in your mind that we were prepared.
Number 1 or 10 or 6 or 7, whatever you want to call it. My prediction is that the Marvels will be better than anticipated. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be a great MCU movie. I think it's going to surprise some people. Like, okay, it was better than Captain Marvel. It was better than I expected. Is it a top 10? No, I don't think the Marvels will be a top 10 MCU movie, but I think it might surprise a few people. That's my prediction.
And I think you hinted at that last week because we talked about it for a little bit.
Yeah.
And you said you were excited about seeing that movie. So
I don't know why. I hate Brie Larson. Has nothing to do with her, but I really enjoyed Miss Marvel. So
I don't like her either.
Haters.
I didn't like her.
I don't know
role,
why.
you know?
I don't know why. I just don't like her. I don't like her as a character.
I don't like her at all. But I am optimistic about that movie as like a middle tier MCU movie because you hear the Marvels, you're like, ugh. But
there's not many people that I think are wrong. Am I using the right word? Like wrongfully casted. Like
cast.
Yeah.
Like I don't
get yelled at in the comments.
Sorry, that's what I'm asking. So, like I think they got it terribly wrong with her.
Yeah, she was horrible. Yep,
I really
agree.
think they did.
They haven't missed a whole lot on casting.
And she signed on for how many movies?
I hope none. I want, and I don't know it, or I don't think this is going to happen. But if you sat down in the movie theater to watch the Marvels, and by the end of that movie, you not only got Blue Marvel, but you got Rogue, and Rogue eliminated Brie Larson, you just saw a good movie.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But
listen,
that's what I'd like to see.
I'm going to agree with you there. I think Guy also agreed with you. I'm going to agree with you there. But like Jay said in the chat, it's because my expectation is extremely low for it to begin with.
Agreed. 100%.
But having said that, I still, we're not going to make it a joke out of it. I do like the prediction that it will be better than we expect. And not even I think it was going to be a 3 and it was a 4. I could see it being somewhere like a middle of the pack movie. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is a huge step up for me, at least, from the first Captain Marvel. So,
that's my number 1 or
10. Former Trout. Listen, with the good with the bad, I will put your quote up, my friend. He said, "Don't disagree with you guys often." He goes, "But got a total opposite take on Brie Larson, and that's okay."
It's all right, man. That's
okay. What's great about this, right? Different opinions.
Former Trout, did you get your books? I forgot to ask you. I'm assuming you did. I sent them super priority to Canada, so hopefully they got there pretty quick. I know it was the holidays and stuff, but let us know.
Canada, eh?
Canada, eh? You might have said it last week, but I don't remember. Throw it in the chat. Let me know. All right. People are pretty much agreeing. I think that's pretty much mostly unanimous consent at this point. What up, newbie? Speaking of Canada. Guy, you want... Yep, books received. Good shit. All right. Guy Ford, you want to go next?
Yeah, sure.
All right,
no,
you go.
Sure, I'll go.
'Cause you got some controversial ones, if I remember correctly.
Well, I threw out some ideas. So this is what I'm going to hit you with first, guys, because I think it's pertinent right now. I don't think, this is my prediction for 2023, Gary. I don't think that the end credit scene of Black Adam is the last time you're going to see Henry Cavill as Superman.
That is a bold prediction.
I don't think.
So you think you're going to see Henry Cavill again as Superman? Maybe not in a movie.
In some shape or form.
In some way, shape,
I believe. I don't think he's done with it yet. As much as they went crazy and they went through this whole rigmarole of how he made a statement, he made a comment, he made a post, then I'm back, blah blah blah. Then you see him at the end of Black Adam, Then James Gunn comes on and Cavill's gone and blah, blah, blah. I don't think he's done. Do I think he's going to make another movie? Maybe not. But do I think you see him in some shape or form as the character? Yes, I do.
What do you think, Gar? I'm still thinking about this one.
I think he's done.
I think he's done.
Sorry,
You're saying that very solemn.
Yo, I'm talking to my wife too. My daughter.
That's not what that meant, but that's all right.
No. Oh, sorry.
Like you're upset by the fact that he wasn't going to be back.
It's okay.
I am upset. I liked Cavill. I thought he was a great Superman. I understand what James Gunn is saying, but I don't think so. I don't think
a lot of people are agreeing with Guy.
Are these predictions just for next year? This year, right now?
Right. They're technically just for next year. So most people are saying at some point. So I guess they're half agreeing with Guy. Okay. But these are for 2023.
So what's the chat? 50-50?
The chat looks like they all believe that at some point he will be, just not anytime soon. I'm kind of on the fence. They made such a big deal out of it. They made it such a big deal about it that he was, and then he made such a big deal out of it that it was like that. Hey, friends, I'm done.
Now I hope I'm wrong.
I think there's a very, very low chance of seeing him in 2023. I'm not going to say zero, but
I'm going to say zero.
It's low.
Because what is he going to show up in? Aquaman?
Right. That's the question.
What are the Flash? These things are already.
You know what? But maybe Guy's right. Like maybe he's in the Flash, and then
he could be in Flash.
Then
he
Guy's
could
100%
be in Flash.
Right. You know what I mean?
He's right. You know what? You are right. He could absolutely be in Flash.
So
he could.
I'm just sneaking one in, guys. That's all.
So
I kind of sneak one in, like that. You guys are thinking too much about it.
Yeah. So a flashback can count. Yeah, I think. Guy left it pretty general. So I'm gonna say that we see him in 2023 as Superman, but that might be the end of it. So, all right, Guy Forge, trying to backdoor us. I see what you're doing there.
Talking about sausages. Now you're
backdoor sausages. What's going on over here?
It's kind of my thing.
It's kind of your thing. Yeah. No more kids, right?
No. We got a dog. Gary, did I tell you we got a dog?
I think I knew you got a dog. How's that?
Did you?
His name's Shazam.
His name is not Shazam. His name is Schwaz.
It's pretty close.
Schwaz E. Bear.
Oh, like Fozzie
Schwaz, middle initial E. Bear.
All right. What kind of dog?
He's actually got a name.
He is
full name.
What?
He's got a full name. I mean,
what's the E stand for?
The dog's
Edgar?
got Ezekiel.
Ulysses. Oh, Ezekiel. Oh, Ulysses is a U, right?
Ezekiel?
Yeah.
His dog matches Gary's beard. Pretty close. When Gary
close
lets it go a little
bit. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that is true.
I got a little white in there though, so
he's got a little white on his chest. So
perfect.
There you go.
Yeah.
Forge, I named the dog Indiana.
What happens?
I don't know. Knucking Futz. Do you know who that is?
Knucking Futz. I named the dog Indiana. My dog?
I don't know. Maybe.
All right.
Oh, everybody saw the dog because you posted it. There you go.
Oh, yeah, I did. May the Schwaz be with you.
May the Schwaz be with you.
Schwaz.
I don't know which... oh, God.
Wow.
That's what happened.
Jay.
Wow.
Jay's right.
You're interesting.
Wow.
All right. I'm going to start off. I have three.
Yeah.
I have three that are not... Oh, there
nice.
it is.
Cute.
Schwaz.
You know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to take it back to the comic books, okay?
All right.
So, my prediction in 2023, and maybe not a full-on, but at least the start, I feel like we're going to see almost like a changing of the guard with artists and writers at Marvel, DC, the bigger publishers, even the Images and because a lot of these household names now are looking to do owner created content, and it feels like it feels like some of these artists are getting annoyed with the publishers, especially Marvel and DC. Kate's just got off of the Hulk run sooner than he was supposed to. So did Otley, and I think he's done with Marvel for at least there's no projects for Marvel for Cates. So I think that there's going to start to be a change of the guard where we're going to start to see Happy New Year, buddy.
Happy New Year, Tivo.
Almost some new names. We're going to start to get some new names in 2023 for artists and writers for new comic books. That's my prediction.
That makes a lot of sense. I could see that. There's people trying to break into the industry left and right, and if there's an opening and a hole,
that's what I mean. Yeah,
they're gonna fill it.
I think the old guard is pissed with the publishers.
Gary,
and
the fuck?
The old guard. I thought Jay wasn't here. You know.
I know. No, I know. Gary's not used to doing stuff like this on his show. But
I love
if there's an opening and a hole,
they're gonna
fill it.
They're gonna
talking about sausages before. And
ram right in there, back door.
Keep it in there. Keep it in there, Gary.
Yeah, I mean, Substack, right? Justin Shannon. I was talking to Jay today. He said the digital thing. So I do think you're going to get these hungry, like Gary said, these up-and-comers that will take a bad deal, right? Or work for near nothing to just get their name out there. And I think 2023 is going to be the year that you start to see that. I think Marvel and DC. All right, guy. I know it's you. It's you.
I didn't mean to do that.
You know, like a little fucking.
Yeah, little guy. I didn't even know he was there.
Like the guy in Mortal Kombat in the corner that used to pop up, Toasty. Right?
Toasty.
You remember that?
Yoo-hoo.
Yeah.
Toasty.
Yeah. I didn't even know that was there. Look,
there we go.
Sorry.
So yeah, I mean, James is saying it. Quality, storytelling. I think Marvel and DC realize they have a comic book issue as well, like a major comic book issue, like probably worse than the movies, right?
Yeah.
So I do think you're going to start to see some new names that are going to catch on.
That also means you're going to see a lot of talent do more independent.
Yeah, see, Copy 801. There you go.
So Copy 801 is back on YouTube, just in case you didn't know.
Yeah, there you go. So you're going to get a shakeup. I think you're going to get an artist and writer shakeup in the publishers.
Hey, Emerald Knight, relax.
I think that's
pal.
Very, very possible. I'm on it. That's a good one.
All right. Who's up? Gear?
My turn.
Gear.
All right. I think this one might be a little too obvious. So here we go.
Yes, that's who, TiVo. 100%. That's what I was saying about the old guard, is that they're trying to do that owner creative
Oh,
stuff.
God. That's, what's his name? Millar, right? Or not Mark Millar. What's his name? Yeah, Mark Millar. Shit. He does that all the time. Not Mark Millar. Who the hell am I thinking
Frank Miller.
No, not even Frank Miller.
What are you talking about?
Maybe it is
It's pronounced Frank Millar.
Anyway, all right, here's my
Frank
next
Mylar.
prediction.
Yeah, what do you got?
James Gunn will be releasing his plan for the DC universe. I think he's going to there's going to be multiple surprises that people didn't see coming, and I also think you are going to get a Green Lantern movie in his story arc, in his grand scheme.
In his plan, not
in
that
his plan
this year.
It is Mark Millar. Thank you, Chimo. Yes, you will get. No, you're not going to get a Green Lantern movie this year. No.
Oh.
So his master plan in some way, shape, or form will be released.
It will be released, and you will see Green Lantern involved.
Which Green Lantern?
It will be Hal Jordan.
Okay.
It will be Hal Jordan.
That sounds like more of a wish.
It is a wish, but I also think it's feasible. Okay. I do think, and I said this before, I've said this a bunch of times now, James Gunn is going to take those characters like Deadman, Demon, Swamp Thing. I don't think Swamp Thing's gone. I think we have a better shot at seeing Swamp Thing than we do Henry Cavill as Superman.
Okay,
that's my opinion.
Zatanna.
He's going to take these Dark Justice League characters. He's going to take these obscure characters. You already saw Lobo, right? Like all this teases and hints of Lobo. He's going to take these characters, and I think he's going to do a great job with them. But I also think you're going to get something Green Lantern, and it's going to be
Why bring back Henry Cavill, though, in the conversation?
He's nice, starting from scratch, and I love it. I'm ready for it. We dug into this a lot last week, but I don't think you can do DC without Batman.
Right.
But I really think we need Green Lantern. And I really think we need Hal Jordan. Start from the beginning.
This is interesting.
All right.
I think that makes sense because people liked the shows he made. Right? A lot of the projects he was involved in, people really enjoyed. regardless of how corny they were.
What did he do?
Green Arrow. He did a bunch of them.
I love Green Arrow.
People love that. I mean, I think it had like one or two tough seasons that were bad.
Did a lot.
They did, but then they actually just what's his name? Stephen Amell just said he's going back for the final season of Flash.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be on an episode or two.
Yeah.
That's my prediction.
Okay.
I definitely see obscure. Not only will he have obscure characters, I think he's going to surprise some people with some stuff.
I'm okay with Berlanti doing the TV stuff because I think it was better. He was better
good at it.
That. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I definitely want to see a Green Lantern.
What fucking time is it in Japan, guys?
It's the morning.
It has to start too with Hal Jordan because if you start Green Lantern with Hal Jordan, it leaves you so many options and so many opportunities.
It sounds like a wish more than a prediction.
I think James Gunn knows. I think he knows what he's doing, and that's why.
Well, here's my prediction. I'm gonna make a prediction on top of your prediction. I forgot I forget that's part of the rules.
Oh, jeez, thanks. Now that we're halfway through the list,
we just
what
changed
do you
the
mean?
rule.
We're on number 4. We're before halfway.
It's almost half.
It's almost
we went
halfway.
one round. I feel like things are gonna get worse before they get better for James Gunn. So like. You're going to go through this whole year, and there's going to be nothing that has James Gunn's fingerprints on it.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
So I think people are going to just use it as an opportunity to just shit on him.
I don't know if I agree with you. I think people know
a lot of people are shitting on him. Like, a lot.
That's okay.
Like, the internet.
But for what?
I almost said a word that I'm not supposed to say on live. They are.
What word is that?
I obviously I can't say.
Type it in the thing. How am I missing what word you can't say?
I'm giving James Gunn, Daniel. I'm giving James Gunn a ton of credit because I don't know if you paid attention, but everything from DC has been pretty subpar so far.
Oh my god!
Oh, I see. So
you can't
talk about having the bar set low, and he's blowing the universe up and starting all over again.
What the hell are you talking about? All right, now go back to your conversation because I still don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. So, yeah, I mean, listen, James Gunn's fingerprints we're not going to see until 2024, though, right? Like,
correct.
You get the plan. So I feel like, I don't know. People are going to be.
Well, Gary said
this? People are going to be.
Gary said his plan.
Decision.
His plan is going to come out.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing there. I'm saying people will be. How about this? I'll change it. People will still be questioning James Gunn's worth past this year because he's not going to really have much of a say in things that are going on right now.
Wait, did I misspeak? Ronnie said, "Why do you think he's starting with Jon Stewart?" That was a mistake. Hal Jordan.
Yeah, Hal Jordan.
No, you did say Hal Jordan.
I did. He's going to start with Hal Jordan. You have to.
Yeah.
In my opinion, just my opinion. I think because Hal Jordan has ties to everybody, like the whole Green Lantern Corps. Like that's.
No, those are all good shows. Those are actually really good shows. Doom Patrol. I didn't watch much of it. Peacemaker and Titans.
So, okay, yeah, those aren't subpar, but that also isn't the DCEU.
Right. Those are
standalones
at this point. Yeah.
All the big screen stuff. And you just listed, what did you just list? Peacemaker. And who did that?
James Gunn. Right.
There you go.
Yahtzee.
Point making. Guy Forge. Number 5.
Cinco. So here's where Gary, this kind of rolls over.
You're rolling over these days?
Like a perfect meatball. This rolls over.
Here we go.
To me.
Fucking
this rolls
meatballs.
over to me, Gary.
Yes.
So like just from what you said though, like this is where Maddie put in it's wishful thinking and it's hoping with that Green Lantern. I'm gonna say my prediction for 2023. One of them is going to be that obviously we talked about mutants a little bit, right? We got our hint of the word mutant. We talked about who is the first mutant, supposedly. We learned that some people might be mutants. So you know the mutant word, the mutant theory has been dabbled in already.
We're talking mutants.
The X-Men are coming. Right?
This year.
The X-Men are coming.
In some way, shape, or form.
Maybe it's Rogue in the Marvels.
That's
wishful thinking.
I feel and this is wishful thinking, I feel that this is the opportunity, and they will miss an opportunity, in my opinion, because we talked about obscure characters, right? And characters that we've never touched on before, and this is your chance to get some of those characters into the MCU. I think we're going to get Forge. I think
Where?
Forge is. I don't know. I think Forge is one of the perfect characters to bring in. I think he's unbelievably smart. I think it's a cool character. I think obviously wishful thinking because it's Forge. Like what the fuck? But I think it's a perfect time to bring him in. So obscure, so out of left field that no one knows who he is. So why not bring in a character like that?
So
That's how they do things a lot.
Yeah.
That's very true. So X-Men definitely not coming this year, but certain members, certain mutants, we could definitely see. And I know a lot of people are going to say, you can't have Rogue because they have the contract, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't mean anything. If they want Rogue in the MCU with a new character, they will fucking pay the old character to go away. Okay? So it doesn't mean that it's going to happen, but people that are saying that it can happen, are wrong. It's just a matter if they want to throw money at it. Okay. So that's the Rogue comment. But about Forge, again, is it going to happen this year? Would be awesome. But a super, super adaptable character that does fit well into a movie storyline that the MCU and Kevin Feige kind of like to tell. I mean, just a very adaptable character.
He could be that team member. He could be that team member like for a while. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. I think it's a character.
I like a Guy Forge. I mean,
and I think it's a character that no one knows of. You know what I'm saying? No one knows the capabilities. No one knows the character. And it could be a character that people can connect with, and he'll be around for a long time. If you're listening, Kevin, I said it.
I like what Ian Anderson's saying, though.
Let's see.
Yeah, he's saying it's oversaturated with super geniuses at this point, which is why, I mean, he has, he's very tech savvy, so he can go maybe that route. Doesn't mean,
Well, he can make weapons out of anything. So this is the key to what Forge can do. You need some weapons, man.
That would be, I mean, listen, it is an obscure, it is an obscure character, and it isn't, right? I mean, member of that animated team, right, for a short time.
Barely. I don't think he was around too long.
No, but
a very adaptable,
adaptable character. I will give you that, a very adaptable character. Because some characters are just not adaptable, right? And if you do get them, it's like they're not what they are in the comics. But that's a super adaptable character. So I like it. What do you think?
I already shit on guys first.
You gotta just go with what you can't.
Whatever you think.
Here,
I don't think we're gonna see Forge this year.
All right, thanks, Gary. Right.
That's no hatred.
Anyway,
on the character.
All right, Gary. Moving on. Happy New Year to Thorough.
I don't think
everyone just wanted to say hello, Thorough. Shut up, Gary.
I'm trying to be realistic because apparently mine are too much of a reach.
Nimrod is a cheap spec. That is very true.
I don't think we're gonna. Honestly, I don't even think we're gonna see Rogue. It's what I hope.
Look, throw Forge in the Deadpool movie. It's not. It's not. It's not out of left
possible,
field.
but we're not getting Deadpool this year.
I know.
Jay says we will never ever see Forge.
Well,
of
there
course
you go.
He says that.
See, so that wasn't that bad.
I will 1,000% disagree with that. We will one day. It could be 15 years from now.
Forge can be one of those throw-in characters. He doesn't need to be a main.
Listen to me. You got Bishop. You're getting Forge. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I feel like when they get X-Men heavy, 5 years from now, 6 years from now, they're gonna have a big sandbox to play with. Like that's gonna. I think there's gonna be some changes the way they do things by them, but we could.
And the sad part is you're too old. Method Man will be too old to play Bishop by that point.
Yeah, probably. All right. Let's do, I keep seeing Jay's name in the comments, so I'm gonna give Jay like a softball here. Okay, I'll let him get your thumbs ready, Jay. Okay. So, I recently saw that Frankie's Comics is going out of business. Okay, and I know some of the other online comic retailers are in trouble. We've talked about it on this show before, but I'm going to say that the rise of exclusives that we saw in 2021 will have, I don't want to say an equal fall, but what did we see? 100+ show exclusives at New York this year? I think you're getting that back down below 50, like cut in half. And I think it's for multiple reasons. I think it's oversaturated. I feel like retailers got bit in the ass with a lot of this stuff.
I can't wait to get in on this. Go ahead.
I know you can. And I know a lot of people in the chat can't either, because those exclusives aren't cheap when you go with Marvel or DC even some of the, Image, and the artists aren't cheap either. So these some of these exclusives that these bigger retailers, like a Frankie's Comics, that's a bigger retailer, that was costing them a lot of money. If they weren't selling out or getting close to selling out like they were in 2020 and early 2021 or all of 2021, you're going to be left in the hole. And then you're playing catch up, and you could say, well, I didn't, and they said why they were going out of business and they didn't mention exclusives, but you can't tell me that's not part of the reason.
It's 100% part of the reason.
Okay, because yes, it's all one big pot, but that's part of the pot. And I think that a lot of publishers, a lot of independent people, but mainly I think the retailers that were spending the big money on the big books, on the big name titles, the big name artists, they got, I don't want to say they all got burned, but there's no way that they sold the amount that they purchased, right? So at some point you're going to get left holding the bag, and then everybody's going to retreat because they don't want that same thing to happen to them. So 2023, I feel like, is the year that we see exclusives. I think it kind of leveled, and now you're going to see that sharp decline. I'm not saying it's going to happen throughout the entire community, because you know what? Whatnot's got their own publishing, so that they can do whatever they want. And until people stop buying every single one that's put out, they won't stop that gravy train. But obviously the retailers are starting to feel that heat. So I think come New York Comic Con, when we talk about this next year, you're not talking 100, 110. Like I said, I think you're going to be in that 40 to 50 range. That's my opinion. I feel like the drop will be significant this year, where we kind of thought it was going to be maybe like a 2 or 3 year decline. I feel like it's going to happen a lot faster. And Frankie's Comics going down is one of those things that made me kind of change my mind on that.
Well, that shows you how fast things can happen.
Yeah.
I think it got a little out of control. I think you're 100% right. I don't know how fast how many big stores are there? Like, I mean,
there's somebody else told me Unknown Comics was having trouble. It could be true, it could be not true, but there's 7 or 8 big online retailers, and then there's probably like another 7 or 8 medium. So there's a good amount.
It's hard to keep a small shop in business. Right. So you got to feel the turnaround on these big shops, and obviously, like what you said, getting these big artists and putting these things out. It's like catch up. So it's like, how long can you do it for?
Can I go now?
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead, Gary. I know you Gary's like just waiting to go ahead, Gary. I'll give you the floor.
All right. These retailers, these online retailers that are doing exclusive covers, that have nothing but exclusive covers, are literally living and dying by the exclusive covers, right? When you do these DC and specifically Marvel covers, you're paying, if I remember right, and now I can be wrong, so please don't quote me, but I believe you're paying somewhere between $5 and $10 a book. And what Marvel does is they make you order a minimum of 3,000 books. Ooh. So you're paying somewhere between $20,000 to $30,000 for your run on one Marvel exclusive. That's not counting paying for the artist. That's not counting shipping, printer plate changes, and stuff like that. You could be anywhere between $25,000 and $30,000 for a Marvel exclusive. Now, do you know how many of those things you have to move at $35, $30 to turn a profit. And what happens as well is you have to pay for this stuff ahead of time, and you need to order this stuff ahead of time. So by the time your books get to you, you're already using that money to pay for the next one just to stay alive. So if you have 1 or 2, 3, 4 of these exclusives from Marvel or DC that don't sell, you are now underwater, significantly underwater. There's a reason. For you guys that follow me, you do know I've done some exclusives in the past, and I have 2 coming out at the end of the month. I think I've done a total of 4. And no Marvel, no DC. I use artists that I know and that I like, and I only do the books that I follow and enjoy. I do not live and die by the exclusive. If exclusives went away tomorrow, that's fine and dandy. It doesn't affect me in the least. If I don't sell a single one of my exclusives, am I in the hole? Yeah, a little bit. Not 20 to 30 grand. It's just, I feel like that business model was not a good one. Not a good one. I think if you're going to do comic books, and don't get me wrong, guys, I have a 9 to 5. I have my job. The comic book stuff is for fun. If comic books went away tomorrow, okay, I'm just going to go to work again. I'm already working, right? It doesn't change my life too much. But these guys whose livelihoods are these exclusives is way too scary. That I mean, you're in the hole. So much money.
But we've
so much money.
The crazy part is that through all of this, we've all experienced how scary it is through YouTube, through Instagram.
Oh yeah, and it goes to another level too. Because think about this: these people who buy, and we'll just use Marvel as an example, because again, you have to order a minimum of 3,000 copies. So you're going to have damaged copies, right? You're not going to sell all 3,000. And what these guys can do to make up some of the difference and some of the loss is submit to CGC, get those 9.8s. And maybe get lucky enough to be able to do signature series with these artists and get a premium on that. But that also costs money. So these artists will also charge for signatures and charge doing the cover. So they're in the hole for more money, which means they're taking more risk. So if they receive 3,000 books from Marvel, and again, it's somewhere between $20,000 and $30,000. I'm not sure. Plus the price of the artist. Now, if you take just 100, let's just say 200 of those books and submit them to CGC, hoping for 9.8s, that's another 4,000. No more. Is it $4,000? Shoot. What's 200 times 20? Whatever 200 times 20, and that's I'm under. It's more like $30 almost a piece.
Yeah, it's 4,000.
$4,000. So now you're into it for another $4,000 to $5,000 with shipping and everything. You have to hope for 9.8s. You have to hope you can move them for $125 to $150. It's so risky that I couldn't do that, man. That would just scare me. I'd rather just do an exclusive every quarter or two, have fun with it, enjoy the artwork, buy the original art for myself because I'm doing it because I enjoy it, and hope to make some money, right?
Yep.
That's why you see me. That's why, I mean, everybody get mad, but that's why you see me on Whatnot. That's why you see me at conventions. That's why you see me right here doing auctions, because it's the back issues, it's the keys, it's the runs, it's the silver, it's the bronze. That's the stuff that I think these comic shops need to survive on. That's the awesome stuff. Now, you do hit every once in a while with an exclusive.
100%.
There are
100%,
exclusives and variants out there that are way over cover price and way over what
we've seen. We've seen it. We've seen it recently
happens.
too.
Actually, I'm a great example because I think my last Ronin variant goes for more than $25 that I was charging. So like, it happens. It does. It happens, but it happens far fewer than it doesn't.
It's the exception, not the rule.
Yeah, it's a rarity. So I agree 100%, Matt. You are going to start seeing some of these exclusive retailers fall by the wayside. You're going to start seeing them drop, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see another 2 to 4 bigger online retailers be done by the end of the year.
And I'm not calling
it sucks
for the
too.
death.
Like,
go ahead.
No, sorry. It sucks too. Like, and Jay made a good point, and we always talk about this. I think as a whole group, I think most of our guys all think the same way. And we always say, if you like something, buy it. If you enjoy it, buy it. We all buy books for all different reasons. I sit here and I look at Gary knows. I'm a fan of Ryan like crazy, like bonkers crazy. Like I love the dude. I think he's awesome. I'll talk to him any chance I get to see him, and like I love his art. Like you
He'll
see
be
it
at King Con.
I know you'll see it right behind me. Like I love his art. Like that's like I'm sitting there going, like I have Gary your Ronin book. I bought one of the posters that he had
the prints,
too. Yeah, the prints. Like
Yeah,
if you like something, buy it. But like don't let it guide you down the path of I'm gonna get this book and then I'm gonna flip it and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna like that. That's just you're going down a hole that like. That's not a fun hole. Let's put it that way.
I think these exclusive stores had it too good for a while, and I think they got a little overzealous and thought that was the new norm, and it wasn't.
Well, that's the problem, right? And again, I'm not saying that exclusives are going to die because circumstances said it. Like, it's never going to go away.
No, it'll never go away.
And I don't think it should because it's become a part of the hobby. And when done correctly and done, where you're not going to the well too many times, it's a good part of the hobby because there's been some amazing exclusive covers out there, right?
Oh,
Stick
yeah.
to fun
What's also nice, not to cut you off, sorry, Matt, but what's also really nice about exclusives is it does give the lower level artists an opportunity to get on a book and to get exposed.
Yeah.
Ryan Brown is not on a Marvel or DC book, which blows my mind. Cover.
Crazy.
I think he's very good for the right character. I think he's awesome. And I don't know if he'll ever get that opportunity, but with these exclusives, he can. And I think that's great for artists like that are like, they're right there. And that is a good thing. But
it's funny, like somebody like a Frankie's Comics, like if they maintained what they were doing in 2020 throughout 21 and 22, I don't think they'd be having this problem. But I think they went to the well one too many times, and I think and it's going to be a ripple effect. Like this is going to affect comic shops. It's going to affect online retail. Like it's going to affect the whole industry because if you're buying too many exclusives, there's only a finite amount of money, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody only has a finite amount of money. The community only has a finite amount of money. It is whatever that number is what it is. So if you're spending your money not on new comics anymore, but you're spending on exclusives, well, then there's less money to spend on New Comic Book Day, on back issues in the store. So it does have a massive ripple effect across the comic book community as a whole. So you're going to see online retailers and local comic shops like Spider's Web in Yonkers going out of business.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going out of business for financial reasons. Been there forever. Maybe he just wants to move on. But I do believe that it will have a ripple effect across the entire industry until that number of exclusives available for people decreases, which I think this is the year that a major decrease happens. It's not going to all go away, though.
No, but even if you go down 25%, that is a significant number.
In the explanation of what Gary said, and how it just take the domino effect that happens, of how much it costs to do it, and how much the artist costs, and how many books you have to buy, and then what you have to do to get the books in, how many of them aren't damaged. Then you have to try and put a price on them. That's why these and
on
again,
top of everything,
that's why
you have to hope
that's
sells.
why that's why the exclusives are there, and they're $45-$50 for a book. And it's like you have these things out there, and you're going $45-$50 for this book. Like what? But then you have the consumer going, am I going to pay this? And maybe I'm not going to get these other books this week. Maybe this is what I'm buying this month. Maybe this is what. That's the domino effect. Like obviously, it comes all the way, and it comes full circle to taking the money out and actually buying something.
Yeah, Blood Saucer Spiderweb's closing.
Yeah.
But I'm going to leave it with this, and it's probably going to be controversial. But remember.
Not on this channel.
Half of the problem of exclusives comes from the people buying them.
Yeah.
It's not just the publisher's fault. It's not just the artist's fault. It's not who's telling you to buy it. That's half the problem. The other half of the problem is the people buying them. And if that's what you want, if that's what you want to do, that's where you want to spend your money, go and do it. But if you're just blindly following somebody and buying a book at 50 that's later on worth 10, and you throw your hands up, you're like, well,
that you thought was going to be worth 150.
You know what I mean? Like, you have to do some of your own homework. So the purchasers are a big part of this as well. So we can't always just put it on
you're
the
not
people
wrong.
that we want to put it on. Because a lot of the times we have to look at ourselves and say, if I don't buy it, and Gary doesn't buy it, and Guy doesn't buy it, and Jay doesn't buy it, well, then they're selling that many less. And then next time they won't do 12 in a year, they'll do 10, and then they'll do 8, and then they'll do 5. You know what I mean? So granted, we're talking very top, we're on paper here, but that's
definitely
reality.
Got in over their heads.
Yeah.
And something tells me, and I agree with you, Matt, they're not going to be the only ones. And with all this exclusive talk, I want to remind everybody I have 2 exclusives dropping at the end of the month on Whatnot.
That's awesome.
Both Ryan Brown covers.
That's what you call it,
really
a
nice.
segue.
And it is what it is, right? Like, it's a shame. It is a shame because it got such a bad name last year. And it sucks because prior to that, there were so many good exclusives, and regardless of whether
there were, but when you hit it
or not, you can't argue with that. The covers were good. You could look at it and be like, I ain't paying $50 for that, but it's a really cool cover. Great.
Matty Forge.
Yes.
This is what happens when you got a couple bad bananas. What does it do? It spoils the bunch. That's what happens, buddy. But speaking about
sponsors out of business, yeah.
No,
well,
speaking
listen,
about good bananas. Hold on, I got to throw this out there.
Weather the storm if you do it the right way. If you put out too many fucking things, you're fucked.
Well, anyway, former Trout coming in with that $30 Canadian dollar super chat. Hey. 2023 prediction: super chats will keep paying for a whiskey or two, and Eva will keep on hooking us. Hooking you what? I don't know. Hooking us up, hooking us like we can't turn away. I don't know, Matty Forge. What do you got for me?
I mean, there's one other meaning there that you left out, but I don't think that's what he meant. But
I don't think that's what he meant either.
Make it rain on me, Defects. Yeah. I can feel it. More.
Let it shower down on you.
The shift. We always forget about the shift. That one.
Yeah, the boob shift.
Yeah, the boob shift.
There you go. It's long overdue, I feel like.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with this.
I feel like that's long overdue. Congrats, TiVo, on that.
Very good. All right, TiVo.
First store exclusive coming in March. 500
I think it's
store,
great.
500 online with our sponsor, Bird City. Good for
but here's
you,
the
man.
thing. TiVo's not going to put out 5 a freaking month. This is his first one.
Exactly.
He's going to do it. And if he's happy with it and things go well, maybe in a few months or so he'll do another. He's not going to live and die by the exclusive. That's the way you should do it.
Yep. And he's got his supporters that are going to want a part of that, right? Like there's, you know what I mean? Like, and even for you, Gary, you don't live and die by the exclusive, like you said.
No.
You do it as, a cool thing. If you make some money on it, great. But a lot of the times it's your supporters buying them because they want part of what you're into because they follow you. And it's almost like, hey, Gary's putting his effort into this. Let me be part of that. You know what I mean?
I did The Last Ronin, which was, I'm a turtle guy. And
really
I did Something
cover.
Is Killing the Children.
Really good
And now
cover.
I have another Ronin coming out.
Probably
And
best cover.
Darkwing, because who doesn't love 90s anime? That's it. That's all. In the 6 years I've been doing this, or 7 now, I had 4 exclusives.
That's not. I mean, it's not. And
that's
you know what? And they were all really
and
good
you're putting
covers,
Gary.
right?
You're putting 2 out at the same time. That
was an accident. Actually, that's because both books ended up getting delayed, and they happened to land on the same week.
It is what it
but
is.
It just happened to work out that way.
So, well, we'll talk. We'll give some dates. Let's finish. Let's get through the rest of this list, and then we'll talk. We got some business to talk about towards the end. But all right, 2 rounds down. We each have 3 left, and then there's a bonus one. We'll figure that out.
We each have 1 left.
We each have 1 left. What kind of math did you do?
I don't know. What did I say? We each have 3 left?
Yeah.
This turned into the top 20.
There's 3 left. We each have 1.
Gary, it turned into the top 20.
Yeah.
Gary, whatever the fuck number it is, it's your turn.
All right, here we go. This is my last one. Let me read it. Okay. I saved this one for last.
No, it's not going to happen.
I saved this one for last. because I think it's going to be, you're going to have the most debate in the chat.
You saved it for
I
last.
remember this
Sucks.
That's what's not going to
I remember
happen.
this one. I remember this one. So I have a
All right.
prediction on top of your prediction.
Here
So
is
go.
my prediction for 2023.
Okay.
The MCU starts to take a positive turn. And here is why.
Jay just threw up. Jay just threw up.
Here's why.
Let's
We
hear
had
why.
Werewolf by Night, which I finally got to watch and was very happy.
Yep.
All right. We
Okay.
just got Black Panther that I really thought was good. Felt like an MCU movie. Is in the top 10? No. But it felt like an MCU movie. I really enjoyed it. It absolutely missed Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. But it felt like an MCU movie. We have Ant-Man around the corner, and it looks great. Ant-Man looks great. And then we have Guardians of the Galaxy. And it's, again, I've been saying James Gunn all night. He's been doing great work. I mean, what has he done superhero-wise that we've been upset with? The holiday special? It was a Christmas special. Who cares?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I thought that was pretty good too. I just think it's going to take a turn. I think, and Matt, we talked about this. I think Disney learned from Werewolf by Night and the previous Disney Plus projects that maybe the special feature presentation, whatever you want to call it, is the way to go. And I think that's going to help them.
Oh, it's going to save them.
I think it's going. So I think you're going to see a positive turn in the MCU. I think it's going to be good. I think you're going to see. I think Ant-Man's going to be very good, and I think Kang is going to be fantastic. And then you go into, because I don't. Is there anything going to Disney Plus between Ant-Man and
Guardians? They may, but they haven't determined dates yet.
Because
so
what do you have?
Still up in the air.
Is it February and May?
Yeah.
Is that so? You have about 3 months. So that's it, man. That's what I think. I also think that changing CEOs is going to affect everything. I really do.
That is, yeah.
And it's almost his time to shine. A lot of this stuff is under the old regime, but we'll see. We'll see. That's my prediction. I think it's the most. I think we're going to hear a lot. I already read a lot of hate in the chat, but that's.
Well, I'm seeing some positives too. I'm seeing equal. To be honest with you, I feel like it's equal. I think it's going to get better and then worse before it actually gets better.
So you see the next 6 months as a positive, followed by the bad 6 months.
I do. I feel like it's going to.
Yeah, this one's for you, Gary.
You're going to have 2 good.
Now
movies.
that would be great.
I said that, by the way, to Matt.
And then it's going to kind of.
Well, you don't. You just remember though. Remember. You had Black Panther and you had Werewolf by Night. So you had possibly three good movies and a good Disney Plus show.
Oh, you're
She-Hulk.
Well, that's what
not
I mean.
so great.
We're almost going to get tricked because it was like you had Werewolf by Night, positive. Black Panther, for the most part, positive.
I thought so.
Ant-Man and Guardians have to be good, or this is a fucking rat. Like we probably
we're in trouble there.
We'll stop talking about it at this point because those have to be good. Like they don't have to be like the top 10, but they got to be fucking close to top 10.
So did
you know what I mean? Like, they got to be up there.
Did the new trailer come out? It's supposed to come out tonight.
It's supposed to come out after the third quarter. So
ooh, Daniel, I would. Okay, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was not that great. I do agree with you. Peacemaker was not that good.
Peacemaker was one of the best.
That's crazy talk. Suicide
that
Squad 2 was good.
I thought it was okay. You know?
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Better than
I
the
watch
first.
it? Yeah.
I'd watch it over a lot of other shit that they put out, to be honest.
Yeah,
with
so
you.
I don't think, Daniel, I think you're on your own there. Peacemaker was very good.
Oh, so so we're getting close to the trailer drop. Maybe
Yeah,
10,
I mean,
15 minutes.
they should just stop the game now.
Yeah. But I do think that you're going to get some pain again before the effects of all the changes they started to make really take hold. So I do think you're going to have almost like a little bit, we're on the upswing right now, but I do think it's going to start to dip again. There's no way that they changed enough And that's why they're scrambling right now, pushing things back, changing formats of things because they're trying to not make the same mistakes.
We don't even have a Tomb of Dracula, a Blade script anymore.
We're so far from some of that stuff. So
yeah.
I still think there's some hard times ahead before they get it right again. And I use Jay as the litmus test. I feel like you have a while until you get fans like a Jay back on board. I do.
But I also think you can get them back.
You can. You definitely can.
Yeah.
Because you just have to make a good product.
Yeah.
Oh,
consistently.
They're getting closer.
Great Bliskin.
I mean, we got two in a row.
Let me explain. Don't let that guide you down the wrong path.
He's so awesome. Good in this.
He was
Peacemaker
very good.
was so good. I could watch Peacemaker right now. I could go put it on and be
I
happy.
think anyone can. The first episode, you're hooked.
I'm telling you, when that season 2 comes back, we're going to be talking about that right away.
Yeah, that's gonna be that big shoes to fill, though.
What do you got, Guy?
What I got? What?
You got a prediction? Your last
You got
one?
something else I have to say is not going to happen.
I know. You know what? I'm just gonna come out with it, Gary. I'm just gonna fucking say it. So my third prediction in our grand scheme of predictions for 2023. I think we're gonna get Thanos back, and I think that Thanos is gonna be in a way that we're not expecting. I think he's going to come back in a way, and I think he's going to be more good than bad. Let's put it that way.
Okay, Gary, just tell him he's wrong, and then we'll move on.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a 2023 prediction, but what's crazy is that might be a 2024-5 prediction.
That's where I'm at. I see him. We will see Thanos again in some way, shape, or form. I've been saying that since
I think so
after
too.
Endgame. Because of
you need him in Annihilation,
right? Yeah, because of all the changes that Marvel's going through, I don't see that for 2023. Yeah, Murph's gone.
Come on, Murph.
You know,
I think, Guy, I actually think 2 out of your 3 predictions are just a year too early.
Yeah,
okay.
I agree.
Forge,
a year or
and
2.
Thanos.
Maybe
you're just a year too early.
Yeah.
We could do this next year, use the same list, and I'll agree with you.
Okay.
But maybe we get a rumor of the guys' predictions for next year. I could see that.
Possible.
Yeah. Okay. I like both of them, but I do think it's a little early.
I don't think you get Thanos back continuously. I think you get him back as a something.
I said that right after Endgame, that 100%. He will be back in some way, shape, or form.
Well,
I also think they make a lot of money on Thanos in toys and everything. I think they make a lot of money with that character. So you bring him back for one movie and you can make how many toys?
Mm-hmm. And it won't feel cheap. Like people said, if you bring RDJ back, it feels cheap. If you bring Thanos back, is anybody going to fucking care? I think people will be happy. Just see him that one more time. You know what I mean?
It would be interesting to see Thanos with a different perspective.
Yeah.
Jay obviously doesn't agree with my Thanos back either. I'm waiting for Jay to put something in the chat worthwhile right now. So
what about like a prequel Thanos?
Nah.
Special presentation.
No.
You don't see anything like that?
I don't want that. No.
A prequel.
I would want that. Like an origin. Like
we kind of got it. We kind of saw it.
Kind of.
I mean, the only cool thing. Here's the cool thing about doing something like that. You can introduce a lot of characters.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not. And again, I'm not saying. Let's get this straight. I'm not saying this would happen, but I think it would be really cool if if and when I'll say when the MCU kind of gets back on track, they start pumping these special presentations. I don't mean oversaturate, but wouldn't it be cool to just sit down one day and watch 50 minutes of like a Thanos origin or like Thanos prior to collecting the stones? You know what I mean? Like, I would fucking watch that.
I mean, I would watch it.
You know what I mean? Like, I would be excited for that because he was a fucking awesome character. Give me a little bit more. I'm not asking for a lot more. I'm not saying I'll build a story around him again. Thanos Orgy is better than a Thanos origin movie. Correct.
I think you'll get Thanos back as an anti-hero in like some small sample size.
You know, I know there's so many other characters they can explore. I understand that, right? But at some point, I don't know. So Jay put his prediction. I got to go back to it. So I feel like you have to use what you have like to your advantage. Like sometimes it's just a matter of getting back on track. You know what I mean?
Thanos holiday special.
I would not watch that. All right, so here's number 10. Even though he's cutting in front of me, you know, and he's got to go to bed. It's past his bedtime. Here's his serious prediction. Quality of DC and Marvel comics is going to fall off even more than it has. Disney and MCU will burn out, and old school collectors and readers will revert back to old stuff. So pretty much what Jay's been saying for like the past 6 months. That's his prediction. I mean, it's not a bad prediction.
I definitely agree with the quality of the books going. You can tell the quality of the books aren't there because the independent stuff is doing well.
Right. They got much farther to fall than they have already before if they turn around. Because paper... I'll say this. New comic books will go away before the MCU goes away.
100%. 1,000% agree.
That's just where the money is.
It's where the money is.
It's where the money is. Mm-hmm. So...
But I also don't think that's happening. You're going to start seeing...
I don't think either one's happening. So
no, if you start seeing comics going away, it's going to be like, okay, instead of 4 Batman titles, we're going back to like just Batman and Detective Comics. Like you're not going to have like 6 or 8 Batman and 10 Spider-Man books and all that.
That needs to happen.
It should happen. You're going to start seeing the titles cut back, which they should.
But the problem is they are on this kick of volume over quality because that's how they're making their money.
Yeah. They're killing the LCSs.
They're killing the LCS. Like it's a lose. Like only one entity's happy. The readers aren't happy for the most part. I don't want to speak for everybody. The retailers aren't happy. Only the publishers are happy, and it's and the content creators aren't happy. Like you know. So there's a lot that has to happen in comic books for it to get back to a good place, a healthy place. Because it's not in a healthy place right now. It really isn't. So, and you could make an argument. You could make an argument, and I know some people are not going to like this, that the shows and movies and this and that are kind of holding it together because of the interest. I know I'm going to get slammed by some old school guys in here, but that has to be part of it.
The trailer's on right now.
Trailer's coming on. We can't watch it on here. We can watch it on our phones. I mean,
yeah, it just came on right now. Like the third quarter ended, and it just I'm looking at it right now.
There's a prediction sure to go wrong. All right, so let me do the last one. Maybe we'll watch the trailer live here, like individually, but so we'll get through this because it's getting late already. So, we had a touch on the market. I was going to bring up the comic market, okay, and speculation.
Oh, shit.
All right, it wasn't going to be a top 10 list without that. So here's my thoughts on that. I kind of alluded to it, I think, last week or the show before. I do think 2023 will be the plateau for the market. It's going to have a landing pad. You're going to hit the bottom, you're going to hit the floor, and things are going to stabilize in the market. Not 100% of the books, but we're talking on a whole. Right? So keys and things of that nature, the AF-15s in the world, they will find a floor. Okay? They're not going to end. Those floors will be higher than the floors were in 2020. Okay? Than early 2020. So you're going to have whatever the floor was in 2020, the 2023 floor will be higher than that still. Definitely lower than 2021, most likely lower than 2022, but higher than 2020. So we came out ahead. So I do see a stabilization of the market. And partially, and these kind of play off each other, it's kind of like a chicken and the egg thing, that the speculation will go back to its levels of early 2019, prior to San Diego, when things really started taking off, where speculation will make sense again. Like people will kind of be okay with speculating again, will be okay spending money. Books will pop in a way that they did before if a character shows up And all of this goes back to, are the movies good? Are the characters good? Okay, because that drives the speculation just as much. Because we know the comics aren't driving the speculation right now either, because they're not doing so hot.
Here's what's crazy. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I thought you were done.
So I was going to say, so I do see those two things kind of go hand in hand, right? So is speculation going to be rampant like it was last year, the year prior? No. Will it get to a healthy place again where you could speculate on a few things here and there and see that book, have some gains and then find a new floor for itself? I do believe that's going to happen again. Because that oversaturation is going to go away. People are going to get smarter with speculation. They're going to know, don't look at that character, don't look at that character, don't look at that character, but definitely look at these two characters. And those books are going to see gains. They're going to see healthy gains, not unhealthy gains. So I do see like a little bit of not a full-on, we're getting there, not a full-on, but the beginning of a health correction in the comic book and speculation market.
Jay kind of stole my thunder because I was actually going to say something along those lines. Spec is around the movies, and I understand. And you just said the comic book not the market, but the new books aren't pushing right now, right? There's nothing out there. I'm going to add a prediction.
Okay, yeah, you could go. It's part of the
just
rules.
To kind of from like yours.
Yeah.
All right, this isn't a prediction, more of let's hope something like this happens. When a Marvel or DC title has a great writer with a phenomenal story, it can push the market. Jeff Johns' Green Lantern run did it. Jay will agree with me when I say the Capullo-Snyder New 52 Batman run did it. And I think Jay will agree with me as well when I say the Donny Cates-Stegman Venom run did it. These stories were so good that they pushed the comic book market. I would love to see something like that from Marvel and DC. An arc and a story, maybe it is a new writer and a new artist. Maybe it's a new, Capullo was around for a while, but Snyder, that was only his real second major run on the New 52. Yeah, he did Quake, he did Detective Comics, he did that stuff, but when he took over when he started the New 52 with Capullo, there were a lot of question marks. Like, what are these guys why are these guys together? And those were the best Batman stories. I mean, going way back. So the comic books can do it.
Oh, they can.
You just need the right pair, the right characters, and the right story, but they can do it.
I want to see it, but
I would love to see that.
I don't think you're going to see it again. I think like that goes full circle. This was my first, and you got to get some new blood that's hungry to create.
And maybe that's what you need. But you need to let them write their story.
Correct.
Don't.
Where are we though? I think it's further away. The comic book market, the new comic book market, is further away than the excitement being behind that than the excitement being behind the shows and movies again.
I agree, because we're always, every month we're 2 to 3 months away, maybe even 4 months away from the comic books pushing, because issue 1's not going to do it, right? Issue 2, okay, might start. Issue 3, you're starting to peak interest. By issue 4 of a arc, now you're starting to get people like, oh, this is actually really good. 5, 6, 7. So we're always, every month that nothing happens, we're another 3 or 4 months away.
Yeah.
Right? You understand? So we can do it, and it will happen again. But it's always a few months away. I mean, you can make the same argument for the MCU and the DCU, that with every movie, if that doesn't do it, now you're another few months away from the next big event, right? But again, I don't want to bring it back to the MCU, but we've had Werewolf by Night, which was really good, and we had Black Panther, which was good enough to kind of say, all right, with Ant-Man, with Guardians of the Galaxy, maybe now you see that turning. But with comic books, we've all seen what happens when a good story is selling. Just think of the when Venom, with Cates and Stegman's Venom, everyone was like, I got to be there on New Comic Book Day. Like, I need to know who's Virus, right? It was a Virus, right? What's going on with Codex? We were crazy into that. Like, that was a great story. And I remember doing the same thing with the New 52 Batman. I remember reading Endgame in New 52, the Batman run, and I think it was super heavy or what it was. I just remember reading where Bruce Wayne. I don't want to spoil for anybody who hasn't read it because it's so freaking good. But it's been out for 4 years now. I remember Bruce Wayne kind of starting to come together like after he died, right? And he's talking to the guy on the bench, and he's talking to somebody you don't see, and they're talking. And I remember flipping the page and seeing Joker there as a normal person because I don't know if you guys either of you guys read the arc, but and I said out loud, "Holy shit," because it just caught me. I'm like, "This is amazing!" Like it was so good. That's what we need. On top of successful movies, don't get me wrong. You know, when they're both going together, this hobby is like, it's strong.
I think they feed off of each other.
Yeah.
When good things are happening on both ends, they feed off of each other. But we can see what happens when bad things are happening on both ends.
You're watching it
as to how it destroys everything. Right?
You're in it now.
Yeah.
And Jay, I mean, you can't do that from the sidelines. You got to be an ambassador, right? If you don't like something, you change it. You try to change it, right? You come on here, you talk to people, and you make them see the right way. I don't know. That's what I think. You know,
maybe it's the optimist in me with the MCU, but with 2 successful projects in a row and Ant-Man around the corner, I'm optimistic. And Guardians 4 or 5 months away now, I'm optimistic.
We can get back to it. It's just going to take time. It's going to take time and patience.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we have to be patient with it. Like,
yeah.
There's good times and bad times. You know,
it
we're
is.
in a bad time right now.
We will get it again in the comic books. It's going to happen. I don't know when.
It has to.
And remember,
if it doesn't, it will go away. Like that. I mean, it's so low. Like, I don't want to shit on. There's a lot of people that still read the new comics every week.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure there's great stories.
Runs.
But I'm talking about.
I don't want to say great. You can't say great.
Okay,
I mean,
there's good enough stories, but I'm talking about those stories that were like that everyone was reading. Everyone was reading Jeff Johns' Green Lantern at the time. Everyone was reading the New 52 Batman run, and everyone was reading Venom for the most part. 75% of readers, right?
You have your drips and drabs though. I think that come in there, like when the Three Jokers came out, like.
Oh yeah,
like that was fun to read. Like
we were still in the midst of it, right? That was still in the midst of some good.
That was when positive stuff was still happening. Yeah. Matt J, 2 successful projects. I thought Werewolf by Night was a successful project, and I thought Black Panther 2 was a successful project. Was Black Panther the best? No, but I thought it was the best of last year.
Yeah, it was. It was.
I thought. Yeah. So that's kind of just to extend on your point, Matt. A little bit.
I mean, I think that's a good addition. I mean, that's because they do go hand in hand.
Yeah.
But I'm rooting for it all to come back.
Oh, of course.
And it's not going to be back tomorrow, and it's not going to be, but you just like to see it level up, like as time goes. And I like positive strides. And so far, we have positive strides in the MCU.
Couple in a row.
Maybe some positive, like a positive, maybe direction with James Gunn and DCU. I don't know. Still too early.
Yeah, I'm overly optimistic with James Gunn, but in reality, we don't know. Right? We have no idea.
Comics, like I don't see that yet.
Remember, we're always 3 to 4 months away.
Prediction, right? I'm hoping my prediction of some new blood will bring on new creativity. And not the same old bullshit. Right? Yeah. Bring on somebody that's hungry. And I think you need new names to do that. I think there's going to be a changing of the guard. It's going to go back to my number 1. I think the changing of the guard is necessary to push the new
But they have to
forward.
Let them write. They have to let them tell the stories. Shoot, you just made me think of something else. The Independents. So when I use Green Lantern and Batman and Venom as examples, it has to be a Marvel or DC. Like, we know we're going to get great stories from the independents, but it's not the independents that's going to move the industry.
No, because they've had really good stories.
They've had great stories. Yeah. I'm over here. I still need to read Invincible. That's way too far back. But
Nocterra.
What was the Snyder Daniels book?
Nocterra.
Oh, is that what you just said? Yeah, Nocterra. Yeah. Like, I have it. I still have to read it, but I have it.
It's
like
one of the best reads of the year. I mean,
right. And it's not going to move the industry. You need the Green Lanterns, Batmans of the world, the Spider-Mans. When was the last time we got a Spider-Man story that everyone was reading?
Right.
When?
Oh, man.
Yeah. When? If they could put a good Spider-Man story out, those
are the pillars. Those are the pillars.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we had Venom. We were close. We had Venom, which was unbelievably great. We need a good Spider-Man story. Like, I guess they tried with Hulk and Cates, and it didn't work out. But
when we were doing them comic book day, and it's part of the reason we stopped, is because the best stories every week were fucking independents. It was Something is Killing the Children. It was Nocterra. It was, put your list together. But it was independents for the most part. After Venom went away.
But it's not going to move the industry. I'm sorry.
After Tynion finished his little Batman run, which was pretty good. That little section.
I have that whole thing too. I still have to read.
It went downhill, and it was the independents. And Gary, you are 1,000,000,000% right. It doesn't do enough. It has to be Marvel. It has to be DC.
It has to be. It has to be. And again, every month we don't get it, we're 3 or 4 months away, because you need 3 or 4 issues for like the momentum to start. Like, ooh. This is good.
One's not going to do it. You got to get into that.
Oh, yeah. Geiger was another one. Geiger was another one. That was Jeff Johns.
Right. Yeah.
Jeff Johns. Great writer.
So unless one of the independents, like an Image, because they're probably next in line, right?
Yeah.
They have to take over. They have to leapfrog Marvel or DC.
A Frog Brawler. There's nothing wrong with featuring independents. I think the independent game is probably stronger than Marvel or DC right now when it comes to stories. They're just not going to move the industry.
You have to have the pillars. The pillars have to be there. The independents aren't part. They're the concrete right now. Right? They're the mortar, but they are not the pillar.
Well, you guys have been talking about that for probably the last year, how the shift was on to the independents.
Big time.
And a lot of these independent stories that are so good are by the same writers that we loved on the Marvel and DC stuff. The Jeff Johns, the Snyders of the world, like and the Donny Cates stuff. Like
the statement of not allowing them to do what they wanted.
That's why they're going independent
with the big guys. That's why they kind of did the movement, and then you see the up in the independent series.
If Marvel could you imagine Marvel getting their act together and putting out a good FF story or a good Spider-Man story?
It's been so long.
Something that people are like, whoa, like everyone was reading Green Lantern, Batman, and Venom. And I keep using those 3 examples because those are the ones that I keep going back to.
And a good question by Frog Bowler, but I don't think you can.
I don't know. Yeah, they would have to take an enormous market share. I mean,
you can't. And here's why you can't. Because the independent stories are short. Yes, you have Spawn, and yes, Something's Killing the Children is still going, and you have Saga.
Because they don't have an embedded character like a Spider-Man.
They don't.
That's what you're saying.
And usually the arcs are short. They're done within a year, and we're done, and we're on to the next story.
Because there's not a base.
Yeah.
Because with the ASMs of the world, the only reason they're selling ASM is because of the base. It's not because of the story.
Like, or maybe it's because of the variants.
Like that's exactly. If you started doing those types of books with Something is Killing the Children, or take that out of it, any Nocterra, right? A new series, liked by a lot of people. Did Nocterra end? I believe it did. I had to stop. The second, I think it did. Somebody
and Geiger didn't Geiger end?
Yeah.
See, these arcs, these books end. They have an end.
But
Gary,
Walking Dead,
you know more about this.
But if you start, well, that's a once in a generation, right?
Yeah, that's
story. So, but Walking Dead ended. I mean, yes, there was a fucking 138
Look, Invincible.
Issues. I mean,
Invincible's another one that ended.
Yeah. Now listen, there's always exceptions to the rule.
Oh, Geiger is coming back. Thank you, Paulie.
There you go. They have to. The only pillar. They can't become pillars now. It'll be way down the road, right? But those characters have to become household names for comic book readers. We are nowhere near that. So it's unfortunate, but
that's never going to happen. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't think so. But
The Walking Dead's household names because it had a great show. Like The Walking Dead was amazing in the beginning for a little while. The show, so you're not going to get that. I mean, they tried with quite a few, like Why the Last Man. I think they tried and it failed. Although that's a DC
Teenage
book.
Mutant Ninja Turtles, right? There's always going to be those exceptions, but
I'll give you
that's
Turtles.
But we're
nobody
talking about
thinks
the publisher, right?
Nobody outside of comic book fans thinks of Ninja Turtles as a comic book.
As a comic book, right?
So that's not the best example.
Yeah.
Walking Dead died with Shane. No.
Yeah.
Walking Dead didn't die with Shane.
Yeah, that's funny.
Walking Dead died when they ruined Negan and that whole arc.
Oh God.
Did you ever read Walking Dead?
I never read it, so I can't.
That arc, the Negan all-out war arc in the book was so good. And when you watched it on TV, you're like, this is so bad. And they're like, they brought garbage people in, and I'm like, I'm done. And they dragged it out, and it just. But I did hear that the show got good towards the end again, so maybe I'll go back and watch.
Yeah, I had to stop that too.
Knocking fuss. I'm with you, brother. I'm with you.
It's a good character, untapped resource right there.
I'm with you.
So, all right, so 10:30. It's after 10:30, so we're done here. January 20th, the auction. Friday night. I think Gary's going to be there. I'm pretty sure Jay's going to be there. I'm pretty sure Guy's going to be there. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be there. So January 20th, put it on your calendars. Tomorrow night, Tuesday night, Gary.
Oh, yeah.
You got a live sale.
Tomorrow night on Whatnot at 8:30 Eastern. All Silver Age tomorrow night. The lineup's sick. Actually just posted on Instagram. All Silver Age.
You got some fucking bangers.
Yeah, did you see that?
All Silver Age always does well. All Silver Age, you can't go wrong
All
with
Silver
that.
Age tomorrow. I got T-shirts in. I got to get you guys some T-shirts.
You got new ones?
I never had a Very Gary T-shirt.
Yeah.
You never did?
So unfair. No, I never.
You didn't have the original?
Never got it. You never gave me any Very Gary material.
You know how
not a mug, not a sticker.
No. Hold on. No, I didn't get a glass.
You got a sticker. There's one right behind you, dude.
There was a sticker. Yeah.
I might have a sticker. Yeah.
I think I had to buy something from you to get a fucking sticker.
Yeah, me
and
too.
I'll tell you this much. You know what I got? I got a T-shirt, but I had to make the fucking T-shirt.
I have one of those as well.
He's got the one of one, Gary. You know, it's one of two.
One of two.
There's only two of those things.
There's only two of those.
Oh, I gotta rock that more. I gotta wear that more. And
and
January 27th. That's the big one.
27th. Yeah. So we'll
all this talk of exclusives. I've got two coming out on January 27th on Whatnot.
There you go.
But that was an accident.
It's all good.
They're
both really good covers, so you can't.
And Ryan's gonna be here signing and drawing and stuff, so that'll be fun.
Yep.
I can't wait.
Bookmark it. But tomorrow's will be good. Tomorrow's all Silver Age. Looking forward to that.
So there you go. So the two shows to worry about.
Take your pants off Tuesday.
Take your pants off Tuesday with the Silver Age. Yep.
That's a great one. Silver Age, all Silver Age. That's you can't find anybody that's going to complain about that.
Next week's going to be Spider-Man.
Well, that's two.
Then the week after I'm doing X-Men, and then.
Well, don't forget between the Spider-Man and X-Men, you got the YouTube auction.
Probably.
Yeah, most likely. Something's there. You never know.
You never know.
And then our podcast. Check us out. Spotify, Audible, Google, all that. We're on there. If you want to listen to us, some of these are long to watch on the phone. You want to just listen to us while you're driving to work. Put us on any of your podcasting platforms. We're on there. Just search for Pressable Defects, and you'll catch us. Guy, anything else before we get out of here?
Hit the like button before you get out of here.
Smash it. Gotta smash that. That lady's alive
we got
somewhere.
100-something people in here. Smash that like. It's free. It helps us with that.
Do it on your way out. Why
math
not?
Shit. Yeah. Matt talks about all the time.
It's like giving us a hug goodbye.
This was a fun show. This was a good one. I like this. I think everyone in the chat enjoyed it. Top 10.
Everybody except for
predictions.
Jay,
Yeah. That should have been my prediction. Jay won't like anything on this list. That's my prediction.
True. Yeah, that is true. I had to change all of mine so that he would like at least 3. You know what I mean? Appreciate you all. It was a really good chat tonight. You guys really got involved. Appreciate you. We got people from Japan, Hawaii, watching at work.
Kingdoms in Hawaii hanging with the Doom.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, man.
Justin
See you.
Shannon with a really good point, by the way, here. I don't think we touched on that. Spider-Man is so unoriginal. More clones, more symbiotes, more symbiotes.
Yeah, well,
he has a
that's-
great rogues gallery. Use them. Agreed.
It's garbage right now. So,
I want
all right, we're
Rhino.
gonna get out of here. It's late, tired. New viewer, you missed. If you're a new viewer, why would you miss the butcher? If you're new, he hasn't been around in like 2 months. So what are you talking about, Brian? We love you anyway. We'll be back on next Monday night. I don't know what the fuck we're talking about. We'll figure it out. If you want to tell us what to talk about, put it in the
Let's
comments.
do another top 10 predictions for 2023.
We could.
That's fun.
We could do that. And as predicted, Guy will show some type of food for every show of 2023. So, all right, boys and girls, thanks for being here. We will catch you next Monday night.